And, well, as far as what is randomized, well, the overworld map is randomized, as are the treasure chest and search spot locations, the town and cave locations, as well as the contents of the weapon and armor shop, enemy locations and enemy spells and abilities, and we are getting instructions and are good to go from the start here. We've got fairy water as well as gold to start things off. And Up to NG asking in chat, what spells will they start with? Well, in this case, none. They've got to get to level 3 before they even get heal. And let's see what is in the treasury right off the bat. We've got a torch. We've got an herb. We've got Erdrick's sword, the best weapon in the game. And we've got another herb. So offense not going to be a problem here in the early going. So that will definitely move things along. So we see with our runners having collected everything, nobody as of yet opting to see what is in the basement, and Bobski having a little trouble with the trolley guard. But Game Boy is going to take on and take out the Warlock for 28 experience, and just like that, going to hop up 1, possibly even 2 levels here. Power of 12, 13, 17, yeah, really, really quick this is going here. Actually going all the way up to level 4 on that first go. And now a Metal Scorpion as well, so the level's certainly coming fast and furious.
And when you start with Erdrick's sword and on very fast, you can definitely rack up a lot of levels in quick fashion.
And Cyan taking a note as to the back of Tanager Castle, it is the Rainbow Drop Cave, affectionately known as the Jerk Cave, because if you don't have all the essential items to acquire the Rainbow Drop, most specifically Erdrick's token, he'll kick you out of the cave like the jerk that he is. Now, those items that are needed, our runners are going to be looking for the Silver Harp, as well as the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's token. And we see that Metal Scorpions, they breathe very nasty fire breath.
Kind of an interesting start we have here, too, with the castle just giving you a peek that there's a cave on a beach over there. But other than that, you've got nowhere to go except for one direction, which is swamp.
Yeah, almost like the tease in the vanilla version of the game where you have the final castle just on the other side of the water, but you have to go a long ways around to get to it. In this case, it is a cave that could be a bunch of different things. For all we know, that could be the cave that is needed to acquire the Staff of Rain, which you trade in the Silver Harp for. Game Boy able to get across and running right into a wizard. And thankfully running away from it. Oh, and Metal Scorpions have Healmore on top of it. Oh my goodness. So Dragon Lord Breath and Healmore. Metal Scorpions not ones to mess with this time around. And a Droll Magi taking out Game Boy, as now Ouijawii taking out a Drakima. And meanwhile, Bobski working on a slime. And Cyan dealing with the Metal Scorpion. Oh, which is Healmoring whenever it can here. And then roasting Cyan, and that's going to pretty much take care of that. So now level 5 for Bobski, already up to level 6 is Game Boy. As is Ouijawii. Oh, and Poltergeists have the spell of Hurt More. They're going to be a little problematic, at least here in the early going. And Bobski finding out about the Hurt More as well. So pretty good enemies normally, but having that extra ability certainly makes it challenging. Is Cyan now going to get up to level 4? And that early starting money, well, nowhere really to spend it so far, as no towns too far along here, although Game Boy now doing some exploration, having traversed the swamp and is now finding more swamp.
Nothing like a good trudge through the swamp. And nothing but a forest on the other side there, so more trudge through the swamp. Good thing they got heal, at least at level 3.
So yes, we have a question in chat regarding the statistics as far as the various names. So the names that are entered in there, and this is something you may not have known from playing as a kid, but the first 4 letters of your name and characters, well, that determines various bonuses that they get throughout the game in terms of the 4 statistics. So you can see here, all using strength and hit points as their bonuses, but using varying numerations, whether it be the capital Z or capital Z for the Canadian folk out there, or in Game Boy's case, the lowercase d, or in Bobski's case, the question mark, capital B, lowercase o, capital B. So all of them giving a strength or hit point bonus. You also can select strength agility bonus, agility MP, or hit points in MP. And now Game Boy F9 getting a nice little bonus here, as is Bobski at level 7. Now you see these statistics. Once you see orange, you might start to thinking about making your way to the boss. We've got quite a while before we get to that here, so quite a lot of time to be able to increase those statistics. And Game Boy just able to survive a rogue scorpion.
That's a bit of a tougher enemy to be taking on so early in the game. Even with Erdrick's sword, the health and defense is where you're still lacking.
Well, you figure with 83 attack power, I mean, they're going to be doing a damage range of 9 to 19, so they could, on average, 3-shot it. As the Rogue Scorpion has a maximum of 40 hit points. And now level 7 for Ouijawii, and already up to 8 is Game Boy. But yes, the defense being a concern without question, as only with 20 defense points, you're getting rocked by a lot of enemies. That Rogue Scorpion that I mentioned will hit you for anywhere from 12 to 25 hit points. And now we have a cave on Game Boy's side.
And I want to say he has found the grave.
Garen's Grave, home of 5 treasure chests, 2 locked behind a door, which, since we don't have keys in this particular seed, not as much of a concern, and 3 adjacent to one another, all in the upper portion here. And we've got some big bucks, some more big bucks, and a dragon scale. So that's going to add 2 defense to the total once it is put on.
And some rather agreeable enemies so far, with finding wolves here. Certainly easy enough to take out, but running a little low on the MP resource right now for heal.
Yeah, only 1 more heal left, and, well, not that you're going to be hurting anybody, but maybe putting a particular enemy to sleep. And able to get through the door, and, oh, we've got simultaneous Stones of Sunlight caves found, and we've got some more big bucks. And there's going to be a lot of that, as I believe the magic key chests that, or the chests that would normally have keys, have been replaced with gold in this seed.
You are correct. All key chests were replaced with gold. And we get our first town, and it is Garenham by Bobski.
So we'll see if there's any spending that's going to be going on here. Oh, a chainmail, that's certainly no. He's going to hold off on it. Possibly going to see if there's any more gold in behind the door here. So let's see what the 3 chests in Garenham bring to the table. We've got some big bucks. The Stones of Sunlight, one of the key items. And a set of wings that work like the return spell and bring you on back to the castle.
Yeah, I have to say, if I'm Bobski here, I'm likely going to get a little bit of extra gold, maybe pick up some armor. Chainmail, not really all that expensive, but probably maybe a full plate or a half plate in this case.
Yeah, half plate a little bit better here, and Game Boy finding a torch in the mid chest. And now Game Boy heading deep into the grave, but running into a golem. Able to run away, but low on resources.
There is some nasties in the lower floors of the grave, that's for sure.
And now just a little further to go, and there's another golem.
Wow, the run luck on these golems right now.
And now we're going to see the back of Garenham. That is the Staff of Rain Cave.
Well, certainly a good find, as we have some vanilla silver harp action over on Game Boy F9 set.
So that's going to be an advantage for Game Boy once he gets to Garenham, as he'll be able to trade that in, whereas other runners are going to have to double back. And Zarnak's noting a lucky dive with a payoff, as a lot of runners, if they died on the way down, they would probably skip that 5th and final chest.
That is for certain, especially with these rather ugly golems that we have here. Game Boy going to go ahead and take a death to get out of there rather quickly. Maybe see a gold grind.
Well, I don't believe there's one to occur, as the 4 chests that were in the Tangential Treasury were a torch, 2 herbs, and Erdrick's sword.
You are correct. That's right. There wasn't any gold to be had, so no gold grind. Yeah, no gold grind in the conventional way, anyways.
Yeah, the best you can do is exactly as noted in chat, an herb grind. And now Game Boy heading in is going to pick up some big bucks. Those chests holding usually anywhere between 500 and 750 gold. And Seedin noting the tracking duties here, and I want to go ahead and give some credit here to Sukiya as well as CyberDark86 taking care of the tracking for us here, as well as MathGirl718, our restreamer, doing a fantastic job as always.
Well, these are some sprawling lands here, too. It just stretches on for quite a distance without much to be found.
Yeah, a lot of things either spread out, or sometimes we see in the furthest points of the land is where everything just conglomerates.
And if we see some coordinates to be found for the overworld item, or even finally get to see a Sherlock spotting, that could definitely mean some bad news for any deaths that happen, because it's going to be a very long walk back to Sherlock, even if it is the short.
So we have determined that we've already determined where the silver harp is, as well as the Stones of Sunlight. So there's still Erdrick's token, which can be in a treasure chest or be in one of the search spots that haven't yet been discovered, either in the town of Hawksnest, the town of Cole, or somewhere on the overworld.
And no cursed belts have been seen as of yet. So nothing to rule out token or flute as being in a chest.
And Game Boy going to go ahead and pick up that Staff of Rain. So 1/3 of the way to the rainbow drop. And now Ouijawii has found Garanham is going to head on back and see the Staff Cave.
Yeah, right now I'd have to say exploration and experience advantage goes to Game Boy, if only by a little bit on the experience advantage.
Well, and Game Boy opting to grind up to the full plate armor. Which will certainly help, as that is the 3rd best armor in the game. It provides 24 defense, just like the magic armor, but that's pretty much where the difference is. It's 8 more than the half-plate armor and just only a little bit more gold. And by a little, I mean triple, but when you're getting 500 to 750 at a time, it's only a couple of trips into that treasure chest.
Depending on some of these enemies I've been finding, I wouldn't mind that extra 8 defense, just as a maybe negate a little bit extra damage. And speaking of some of these enemies they're finding, we have our first armored knight sighting.
Yeah, they are definitely not fun.
That is certainly a fun HP increase on Game Boy F9 side for level 10, though.
So Ouijawii going for some more gold.
To say this would have been a fun one to watch some of our resident cartographers draw out here.
Yeah, those who draw maps along the way, they would certainly have a field day with this one. And what a field.
I mean, it stretches out in multiple different directions, and then it twists and turns, and I'm just glad I'm not one of those mapping types.
Most definitely. Now up to level 9 goes Bobski. Full plate on Ouijawii's side.
It looks like that swamp that we missed out on earlier is full of green dragons. And Game Boy F9 suffering the same exact fate that Bobski did while trying to explore that swamp.
Yeah, the game finding a way to say, if you want to come here, you got to earn it.
Yeah, that just goes to show you that that distance deficit I was talking about. With once you get so far out away from the castle, it's a long walk back out.
which that will lengthen the seed a little bit here, but all it's going to take is that one thing to bust everything open.
Although, never mind. I was gonna say I like this Axonite that Bobski's found over here in the desert. It makes for a decent grind spot later. If nothing else comes to pass. But hurt mooring Axonite, not so.
No, that'll be a little risky later down the road. Now, with the one shop in Garenham, I don't believe there were any shields there, were there?
No shields. Lots of armor and a flame sword, but no shield. And red dragons, green dragons, arbor knights, star wyverns. This overworld is just full of nasty.
Yeah, definitely unkind. And now at the 1,000 experience mark, here is level 10 for Ouijawii.
And gameboyf9's only about 100 experience away from level 11 here. And looks like Cyan has made their way to the grave finally. We'll see if Cyan can get down to the bottom and make good on the Silver Heart collection as well.
Oof. Well, Game Boy not getting past the Metal Scorpion, but yes, as you noted, a little less than 100 away from level 11, as 1450 the target number to get to. Yeah, normally in the vanilla version of the game it's 2900. In the traditional format that we have here to be 2175, but 1450 for level 11.
And that plays a big role in that target level of level 17, as that is where heal more will be gained. Needing only 8,000 here in the week 1 flags compared to the usual 12,000, or the quite painful 16,000 in the vanilla.
Oof.
So far, we've seen some barring from further exploration, but quite a bit has been found in where we have been able to explore so far. At this point, we're only missing searching out the armor and the token to be able to at least get into Charlock and somewhat survive.
And up to NG asking, where's all the stuff? And I think that at least some of the stuff might be in the Mountain Cave, as that's one of the places that has not yet been explored. There's also the Tablet Cave, which has 1 treasure chest, Mountain Cave having 5 treasure chests, and there's also the treasure chest in the not nearly as exciting in this particular seed or flag set, the less exciting town of Rimuldar.
Yeah, this is true. Rimuldar does still have 1 chest, although its main function of having keys, well, there are no keys, so that function doesn't exist.
We're we're going in this seed, we don't need keys.
And then, of course, we do still have coal, which is yet to be found for a search spot. There is Hawksness, which is yet to be found for a search spot. And there is Cantlin, which is yet to be found for coordinates for a search spot.
Cyberdark noting in chat that a DeLorean would be nice here. Yes, good on you to pick up on that. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to.
I picked up what you were laying, but I chose not to comment.
Leave it to the chat.
And we've got a cave here on, I believe, on Bobski and Game Boy's side, so new cave to explore.
And now with Radiant acquired at level 9, we see that it is the north end of Swamp Cave. So there is a guardian enemy and the princess in there.
That is a site that I'm not sure I would want to see quite yet. Seeing as how they do still have some exploration to do here, but given with as large as it has been for the first continent, the other side of the swamp cave might not be that big, and we do see a town fight, or a second town.
And it's Cantlin, the proverbial shopping mall of Alifgard. 3 different weapon shops. Pretty much any item that that is purchasable is here. And we've got an old man behind some barrier tiles who will provide some coordinates. And to answer the question in chat, how does no keys work? You can just open the door freely. The tenders to the key shops, they decided to take the day off. The doors just open on their own. And we've got coordinates of, 4 south and is that 83 to the east?
Ooh, that is ugly. The 4 south isn't such a big deal, but 83 east, there's water east.
So something tells me that a princess rescue is essentially going to be required.
I wouldn't say it's an impossible count if you can make a point of reference from what you can see on the other side where that beachfront property with a cave was, but definitely not a fun count.
No, definitely not ideal, that's for sure. And Bobski going to purchase some fairy water. An interesting strategy, especially given that the repel spell is acquired at level 15, I believe.
Yeah, you would be correct. Level 15 is repel, but level 15 is still a fair ways away at 5,000 experience for that level. So 4,000 experience before you get repel. I mean, fairy water might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, although with the defense being as low as it is, it's not like there are that many enemies that are being warded off. And we've got knights with hurt more.
Yeah, I guess the Axe Knights taught the Knights how to use hurt more here.
And they have sleep. The Diet Wombo combo. Sleep and hurt more.
And Bobski not even going to attempt to count, it looks like. Unless maybe trying to count from the other side and going from there.
That may not be a bad idea. Go to where the cave is, see where the castle is in perspective, and that can be your reference starting point.
I would have to say I would have to say Bobski would be remiss if he didn't try at least. You never know. Could be Erdrick's armor. Could be a really big boon.
At this point, needing the armor and needing Erdrick's token, those being 2 of the 3 potential items in search spots. The only way that it would be less ideal would be if it was the fairy flute. And up to NG making an interesting point in chat. If they didn't have Erdrick's sword, the best weapon in the game, repelling wouldn't be as ideal because they'd be wanting to fight some of those lower enemies because they wouldn't have the strength to handle anything bigger. But in this case, having repel, taking away those lower tier enemies and being able to encounter those mid tier enemies like Bobski's doing here with a little bit of a Spectre grind going on.
And Ouijawii seem to have been grinding on green dragons. Was I saying that correctly?
Well, it certainly was effective. Already up to level 11, as is Game Boy, who ran into a fire-breathing Wraith Knight.
And Wraith Knight's apparently breathing the fire too, eh? And yeah, Cyan and Bobski not really that far behind in experience. Bobski, of course, has picked up their Staff for Rain, having acquired that Silver Harp in the bottom of the grave. That's a lot of hurt mooring and a lot of dragon breathing going on.
Yeah, a lot of beastly enemies in this particular seed. And then, of course, there are the usual troublemakers like the Armored Knight here that Cyan's taking on.
Oh no! Look at this Droll Magi.
Certainly not a bad enemy, and just 14 experience away from level 12 as Game Boy.
I don't know. Baby Breath and Heal More. That I personally would have to call that a troll magic.
I was debating whether to make that pun and opted against it, but thank you for picking up my mental wavelength there, Ryu.
I am never beneath making bad puns.
I never thought of it as a beneath thing, but see, it was a telepathy thing. I didn't want to hop on it necessarily. I wanted to see if anybody else picked up on it, and Ryu right there. That's what makes commentating with you so fun. Just having that same wavelength almost all the time.
And poor Ouijawii getting taken out by yet another one of those green dragons. And let's see, level 12. A little pretty decent, strength gain, I guess. It's about the only thing good about that level, I think.
Well, and the spell of Outside, which will help once the mountain cave has been discovered, is up to NG pointing out in chat.
Oh, this is true. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with the swamp cave since you start in the north, and it would only send you back to the north end. As using Outside in Swamp Cave, whether you entered south or north, it always exit you out the north side.
Yeah, so that's just more if you're looking to come back from, say, Cantlin or something along those lines. But there's a pretty good amount of traveling going on here, so we shall see. And we've got Bobski entering a cave, and it is Garen's grave.
So Bobski, so long as makes it to the bottom, will be on their way to picking up the Silver Harp. I believe Game Boy is trying to make his way back to the Swamp Cave. Either at least explore the area further around where it was found. But first, a quick trip back to the Tantagel Castle.
Yep, the Red Dragon doing as they do. They are known in the community as the Fun Police because when they show up, the fun tends to stop. In part because they have the highest strength and, I believe, highest agility among the enemies not named the Dragon Lord.
That is for sure. And then, of course, the Armored Knight doing what it does best to Cyan. And it's affectionately known as an AK-47 because it hits about as hard as well.
Yeah, 105 strength for the Armored Knights, 120 for the Red Dragons. And then on top of it, they both have high agility as well. 86 for the Armored Knights and 90 for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, tough one to run away from. And right now, agility not all that high.
And Smashy, thank you for the AK 47 bits. It is appreciated here among the Randomania networks. So now Cyan working on a green dragon, and this is a slugfest here. Both hitting in the low 20s in terms of hit points. Will Cyan be able to hang on? Yes, for 135.
That is definitely a tough slugfest, and seeing the real detriment here of having to use 3 heals just to get back to full health here. And it looks like Ouijawii has spotted Garen's grave, so we'll be on their way to go pick up a silver harp, as the AK does what it does and sends Game Boy back home yet again. Trying to make their way back to Swamp Cave looks to be troublesome for all of our runners here, both for those who found it and those who are still trying to find it.
I think it's safe to say that making their way almost anywhere has been troublesome in this seed.
Fair enough. I have to say, they're all doing a really good job here on staying pretty much on par with each other in experience, with the biggest lead only about 500 experience between gameboyf9 and cyanveo.
Yeah, that is, that's separating the most with least experience. They're all within about 500 of one another. Actually, at the moment, Bobski and Ouijawii just 9 experience points difference.
And Bobski does pick up their harp, and will take the quick exit from the golem back to the
And Betastrep making a great point in chat. Imagine how much worse this would have been without the early Erdrick sword, adding that 40 attack power to their total.
That's for sure. I don't think I want to imagine that one.
Or as Zarnax is counter stating how much better this would have been. For the truly sadistic, you're absolutely right. I guess it's all a matter of perspective.
Well, I mean, I tend to be known as one of the sadists here, but I don't know if I'd want to deal with this without having some kind of reprieve. A hurt more, a healed more, a sword, armor. Give me at least one item to work with here.
All right, and Cyan has found, or is back to the Swamp Cave, I believe, having made it there before. I'm trying to remember.
I think actually this is Cyan's first visit, yeah. I believe Bobski and gameboyf9 were the first 2 to see it. Although, actually, to be fair, even without sword start, there was that flame sword purchasable in Garenham, and a very easy grind to do so, so maybe not as bad.
Just caught it on the very edge of the screen, but I believe that just exiting the Swamp Cave, there is another town directly west of the cave, of the Swamp Cave south. It was just about half of it was in frame, but having seen the more visible Cantlin. I wonder if that was, I guess in that brief moment, we hadn't really seen it with our other runners as well. So I wonder if anybody has discovered that, or if perhaps realizing that that Cantlin was right there, they just didn't even bother checking that other town.
I have to say, I didn't catch that either time. Game Boy making their way to level 13 now, and actually quite a big boost in strength with 9 strength gain. Definitely looking like the attack power is not going to be a problem by the time we reach level 17. Still looking a little low on that HP. MP not too bad at this point.
And now Cyan stocking up on some fairy water. And Scorpion Max asking in chat, why are they selling the dragon scale? The game has a bit of a programming bug to it, where even if you get rid of the dragon scale as well as the fighter's ring in your inventory, the statistic still stays. So even if you get rid of the dragon scale to free up your inventory, after putting it on, you will still have the 2 defense point bonus. Same thing with the fighter's ring. If you put it on and then get rid of it or sell it, you will still have that 2 additional attack power.
And looks like Ouijawii was attempting to go get his Staff of Rain, but get stopped by the Metal Scorpion. Cyan taking a intentional death, I would have to say, back to the castle, so he might get to actually see an attempted count.
Yeah, it was definitely an intentional death, as I don't know if there was lacking the MP to be able to heal all the way back, or just thought, oh, I've got the coordinates, let me go ahead and attempt to put something together here. But nobody opting to go south to see about that cave just on the other side of the castle.
Seems like Cyan's going back towards where the swamp cave was here. So maybe you're right. Might not have had enough MP to heal back out of the barrier tiles.
And answers Arnax's question, I don't believe we have seen any of the spike tiles, the repeated enemy gains. There have been folks who have gone into the swamp cave and bypassed it, but we have not seen what the enemy is there, and the town of Hawksnest is still missing in action.
Yeah, Cyan, Game Boy, and Bobski, all 3 made their way through the swamp cave, but nobody decided to check what could be there. Although, for those who have seen the Axe Knights, knowing they have hurt more, unless maybe a blue dragon's there, might not be too friendly of a type.
And there's Ouijawii gonna talk to the not-so-grump and pick up the Staff of Rain.
So that puts everyone just about even here in terms of item collection and experience. At least nobody with too far of a lead.
And Zarnax noting in chat, Axe Knights would be great if they were susceptible to Stop Spell. And yeah, while they are, it's a little bit worse than a coin flip as far as hitting it.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be bad if you can land the stop spell first try, but if you miss it, you're in for a hurt.
I know that debuted a little while ago, but I still am impressed by that. accessible information here as far as the enemy resistance and everything of that nature.
Whew, boy, that level 14.
For a minute, I thought Cyan might have been counting out.
So far, Cyan and Bobski would be the only two who could. Game Boy still has yet to be able to make it back to the Swamp Cave.
Instead, seems to be exploring elsewhere. Pretty much looking for every swamp and just kind of traipsing through it.
I might have found some previously unexplored area and decided to take a look, see what was there. And dual deaths here by... Well, actually, tried deaths here. 2 by the Fun Police and 1 by the AK. That is some rough going there. I'd have to say, this would be one of those, if it's a toss-up on whether or not I can take the Dragon Lord out or not, I would probably go ahead and grind up another level for a more favorable chance, just because the trek back to the Sherlock that we've yet to see, actually, is just littered with unfavorable enemy.
And Game Boy taking on a metal slime, and it kicks out at 2. As the metal slime's only having the 3 hit points, but extremely high defense. So if you hit them at all, it's for 1 at a time unless you have some really high strength.
Which actually, if we go ahead and do a quick little looky-loo here, Game Boy's not that far away from the strength requirement needed for those metal slimes. One more level and he could actually be one-shotting those metal slimes for a whopping 255 experience gain.
Yeah, you're guaranteed to get 1 hit point of damage against a metal slime starting at 132 attack power. So he's 6 away from that. And then you can at that point you're guaranteed 1 and can do a range of 1 to 2. But then once you hit 134 damage, then the range increases to 1 to 3, and that's where you have the chance to potentially one-shot. So only 8 more attack power away from that potential 1, maybe 2-shotting of a metal slime. And with them giving 255 experience per death, that'll rack up the hit points, or that'll rack up the experience and levels quickly.
And starting from the current level 14, that would give you about 5 metal slimes to the next.
Yeah, and already being 500 in, just 3 metal slimes, and boom, that's it. But not quite there yet. But the strength gains are certainly fun to see.
And Game Boy does finally make it back to the Swamp Cave, as I believe Ouijawii has discovered the Swamp Cave for the first time now. So all 4 runners have found.
So now Ouijawii gonna head east to Cantlin. And beeline there so quickly we didn't get to see that town off to the west. So I don't know if any of our runners have seen it yet.
I definitely saw it this time. It is very noticeably on the screen, but Cantlin definitely in a much more readily seen spot, and a large shield pickup for Ouijawii and Game Boy. I think they're the first actually to check the shops here in Cantlin.
Yeah, there was a virtual high five there as they both, I guess, held the shield in one hand and high fived with the other. Or high something in the case of the Healy sprite that gameboyf9 is using.
It's a high tentacled.
I don't know. I was never good at zoology. Pyrolight's got the right idea. They buy the shields at the same time and clang them together.
And I have to say, I think a large shield will probably be the most we see here. I don't see anyone doing the slow grind to the 14,800 for a silver shield, and I don't think anybody's going to keep checking now that the large shield has been purchased.
I don't believe so either. And now Game Boy heading east of Cantlin, so I don't know if that caught the peripheral. And now opting to head south. Ouijawii stocking up on some fairy water.
Well, he definitely sees it now.
Now he sees it.
Ooh, and it is cold.
Finally, it is the town of Cole. So we're going to see one of our search spots here. And it has Erdrick's armor.
Oh, that is a glorious find for anybody who makes their way there, as Ouijawii does exactly that as well.
Yeah, the best armor in the game. It gives you 28 defense points. Plus, on top of it, for every step that you walk, you heal 1 hit point towards your maximum. It reduces the damage done by the hurt and hurt more spells, as well as the fire breath by 1/3. It completely negates the spell of stop spell, so enemies can continually cast it and it will never take effect on you.
And look, another town and a cave. Yes, and a cave.
So now it's all coming up here, and we've got the town of Breckenary. And Game Boy left the town about in the time that it took for me to say the word Breckenary.
Well, we do still have a cave to check here, which, if it's Mountain Cave, I'd probably give it a check, see if we can get a fighter's ring, perhaps. But Game Boy opts out. And I think Ouijawii did check our spike tile in the swamp there. I want to say that was a blue dragon.
And did I see that it had Hurtmore?
I believe you did. To answer a question here in chat, do we have 2 known cursed belts? We have no known cursed belts at the moment, actually.
Well, technically we have, thanks to Game Boy, one known curse belt, because we have coordinates and the armor's in the search spot in coal, so there is one curse belt. The question is whether there's the other in Hawksness, and, well, now heading to this other town here, unless the Droll Magi is gonna be the aforementioned Troll Magi. Nope, just gets one shot for 43.
And speaking of Hawksness.
Hawksness. Is Bobski now finding coal?
And I think Cyan had found Swamp, gave the Blue Dragon a try, and, well, back to Castle he go. So, question in chat of what is the significance of the Cursed Belts? So, of all of the items that can be found, the token and the flute can be found in either a chest or in one of the 3 searchable spots. If it is going to be found in a chest, then a cursed belt will not be found. It actually takes the place of the cursed belt. If you find 2 cursed belts, that means you will not find the token or flute in a chest, and they will be on one of the 3 searchable spots.
And Ouijawii has taken out the Blue Dragon. As Game Boy taking out the Guardian Axe Knight in Hawksness and is going to get level 15 with a 28 hit point boost.
And that MP gain on that level too. Wow. I didn't actually see him do a search. Was there something to be found?
It was the Fairy Flute.
He did find the flute.
Coordinates are going to bring Erdrick's token to the mix, so we are going to have to go that 4 south and 83 east.
And Bobski also will find Hawkson's here. And with level 15 and the attack power that Game Boy is currently at, these Axe Knights are not really much of a problem, other than the fact that they do spam a lot of Hurtborn. Good news here for Game Boy is he knows exactly where he can find the token at. The question is, will he go rescue a princess for the search, or just continue the grind here on these Axe Knights until the MP runs out and Death whisks him away back to the castle, and then attempt to try and get the token?
Or if he wants to go all the way up to 17, he could theoretically go back up to Breckenary, stay at the very inexpensive inn, just 6 gold, and then come back to make his way on up to level 17.
No, that's true as well.
Chad having a bit of a discussion as far as the grinding of experience and whether over-leveling slows one down, but also noting that there isn't really the option or strategy of fighting your way down through Charlock, considering that it's a short Charlock, so you start off right in the 7th basement.
Plus, there is, of course, the fact that level 17 is the guaranteed minimum, as it is where Heal More is acquired in the vanilla game, since we are using the vanilla spell level learn. So you can't over-level unless you're going above 17, really. You have to get to a minimum of 17, no matter what stats you may be at.
But I think the concern, at least for the moment, might be the defense. I mean, granted, there's a couple more levels to go. But Game Boy, even up at level 15 with Erdrick's armor, with the shield, only 74 defense points.
He will be hitting level 16 here after this Axe Knight, though. And Bobski making their way to pick up their Staff of Rain.
So let's see the stats here for level 16. 1 power, 1 speed, 7 hit points, 1 magic point.
Those were some not too impressive stats there.
Those were some paltry numbers. So again, the defense staying at 74. So I mean, if it doesn't go up much further than this at 17 and he opts to go for it, well, the Dragon Lord can melee for anywhere from 25 to 51 hit points.
Yeah, I believe the target number that you want to see is at least 80 defense power.
Yeah, ideally, if you want to cap things off at that 48, which can be the maximum Dragon Lord 2 breath, then I believe 85, or 86 is the number. So now sign up to level 14. And you can see this is where the gap is now starting to intensify here. In terms of experience, you can see over 7,000 for Game Boy. Meanwhile, Cyan at 3792, 3698 for Bobski, 3904 for Ouijawii. So over a 3,000 experience gain. And Amazing Toaster Game Boy, grinding, kind of grinding to help as he knows it's needed, but still has to get Erdrick's token, which we know is in the overworld spot, and Charlotte Castle yet to be found.
Ouijawii, Cyan, and Bobski are all still neck and neck with each other with pretty much the exact same information as each other, other than Cyan not having made their way to Cole yet. And by that slow movement on Game Boy F9's side, I can definitely assure he is counting now. Maybe not the most efficient way, but whatever gets the job.
And look at the hit point totals, 133 already.
And we still have at least one more level to go. I don't really foresee us going any higher than 17, just based on the current stats for level 16.
You can see 74 defense. Yeah, the hit points and magic points are definitely ideal. The attack, usually once you get to 130, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, we're still missing a little bit of the attack power, but we're still at least one more level to go for sure, possibly more. But I would say at level 17, if you gain only one more strength, you still have that 130 plus HP, plus 104 MP, or maybe more. I would say the 130 AP or even the 129 is more than enough at this point.
Yeah, ample hit points, ample magic points. The agility, not as much of a concern as you don't have to travel all the way through Charlock and deal with all those intense enemies.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to get through, not having to worry about, possibly needing to heal more on the way down, not having to worry about, how are you going to see with either torches or radiant. The only worry that you have to deal with is what's going to be found on the spike tile. How dirty is it going to be? Is it going to be an Axe Knight with Hurt More, which hurts quite a bit, even with Erdrick's armor. Is it going to be the Armor Knight or the Red Dragon, which once again hurts quite a bit? Or, as Bobski shows us, the Blue Dragon, who also has hurt more and can appear on those spike tiles.
And Cyan has found the town of Rimeldar.
I believe that was our
thing to go purchase keys.
I think that was the only town we were missing here. And will there be something useful? No, not unless there's a silver shield in the shop and you just really, really want it.
Well, I believe for the moment, Cyan is shieldless.
Oh, and there is a silver shield there. How bad do you want it? Oh, hey, look! Speaking of things that we're missing, we have Sherlock.
We have a Sherlock find. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
I actually didn't see where Cyan was going when that was found either. Wherever it is, it actually isn't that far from that stretch of land we saw Game Boy at that one time. So it seemed that Game Boy only just missed it.
Now Game Boy continuing the count, but now has found some water impeding the way, and it might perhaps be on the other side. And I think despite his best efforts, we may be Princess required here. And now here's level 17, including Healmore. Okay, level 17, and I wouldn't say some much-needed stats, but some very welcome stats. Putting him at 133 AP, I believe that was. Oh, and wow, the table's turning as the Stone Man has the spell of sleep. Yes, the overworld coordinates are required as Erdrick's token is among them, or is in that search spot.
Oh, he did recognize a landmark there on the other side of the swamp, so he is still going with the count. Good job on Game Boy for that one. If he is successful and finds a token, that is certainly no easy feat there.
Are you kidding me? Third time was a charm? What princess? Yeah, there's a reason that he is the defending two-time Dragon Warrior Randomizer traditional tournament champion. He just showed it right there. I'm speechless.
And we see Bobski going in, picking up the princess. Ouijawii having already acquired said princess. And I have to say, I've had some fairly impressive counts through some of these tournaments that we've had. But that's a heck of a count right there.
Yeah, the only words that are coming to mind are how, and then a lot of words that I can't say here on broadcast.
See, at this point, I think Game Boy is just trying to see if he can locate Charlock before heading back to pick up his rainbow drop. As for the question posed in chat, not sure as to why he's still fighting things. I mean, maybe level 18 wouldn't be such a bad idea, although I really don't think he needs.
Yeah, I think maybe just trying to get that little extra bit of cushion, as 78 defense points is a little on the low side. The Dragon Lord would melee for 25 to 50 at this point. And while there's plenty of HP to go around and MP to go around, maybe it's just a safety thing.
I mean, it would certainly be a little risky, but well worth the risk at this point, I would.
I think if this was if this was other than very fast, maybe that would be more of an issue, or maybe he wouldn't necessarily continue to fight at this point.
This is true, considering level 17 to 18 is only 1,500, compared to our normal flag set of 2,250, so that's an extra 750 you'd need to gain.
And Swizzard making a good note in chat that certain enemies, it's easier to kill them than to run from them. So enemies with higher agility that, again, with that low defense and low agility, you can't outrun, it's just easier to just bash them.
I can agree with that one. That is something that we will almost certainly be seeing in Week 2's flag set for the Charlotte. Even if it is still a short one.
And yeah, at this point, it's after this Axe Knight here, it'll be closer to level 18 than 17.
And Bobski did find the mountain cave, and we do see that a fighter ring, by the looks of it, was in the mountain cave. Currently giving the princess the grand tour.
Yeah, I didn't see the other things that were in there.
I would say also a death necklace based on the tracker here. And Cyan now grabbing the princess. And looks like Cyan is going to go ahead and take the princess back right away, rather than explore a little. So still going to be missing out on Erdrick's armor currently. And by the movements Game Boy is making here, I would definitely say did not spot the Charlock location. Still trying to search and locate it at this point.
It's found a bridge.
And we have found a tablet cave on Bobski's side. Ouijawii, meanwhile, doing a blue dragon grind, it would seem.
And the cursed belt found in the tablet cave. And I believe that is Rimmildar, and there is Charlock.
He spots the Charlock, spots the Remolder, ignores the Remolder at first, but says, oh, well, actually, there's Charlock. How about a nice hit? And definitely seeing where that Charlock is. Any mistakes here against the Dragon Lord, it is a hefty trek back. And I think we might see a treasury check for the necklace and ring. Uh-oh. Nope, no treasury check, and thankfully those stonemen like to use the spell of hurt as well. Otherwise, that sleep and punch combo might have hurt Game Boy a little.
Initially tried to run and is now just like, all right, I'm just gonna, I'll swipe at you, sure. Now, 9,500, the number for level 18, so at this point, take on one red dragon and take on the Guardian Spike Tile and get yourself a little bonus, or just take out a red dragon now. Easier than running from it.
I was going to say, speaking of taking out the red dragon, there's the red dragon, and the Spike Tile will finish it, but I guess this red dragon will finish it for him. So level 18, what do we...
1 power, 6 speed, 7 hit points, 1 magic point.
I believe I called the 1 power level 18 there.
Oh, and it's a golem.
Good thing he has a fairy flute.
So putting him up to 81 now. So the most the Dragon Lord will be able to do is a melee attack of 49. And given that ridiculously high hit points, pending a miss menu, this is beyond free.
And Bobski getting their princess returned, and will be on the hunt for that token now.
So here we go, 12 Healmores.
Ooh, that is a none too friendly Dragon Lord 1.
Oh, and Game Boy out of herbs. No matter.
I don't think I ever saw him buy herbs.
No, I think he had the 2 and used them at some point, so here we go. We've got 11. And another 10. Up to 21.
And a bit of a friendlier Dragon Lord too, at almost the minimum HP of 157 here. Only 2 away from that. Wait, 2? No, sorry, 7 away from that. About halfway. There you go, halfway between the minimum and the maximum.
And already up to 46 now. $57, and Lorgon, thank you so much for the callback. 68 now. Up to 82, 8 Healmores left. $91. There's 11 that puts it up to 102. And now 114.
I have to say, I'm a little curious what Ouijawii's up to. Maybe a grind here in front of the dragon?
I believe 139, now 150. The last heal move for safety.
This next hit should do it then.
And 163, we have a winner.
Ooh, and Ouijawii never picked up the flute either, so just has to brute force that goal.
Alrighty, check it out. Your GGs, if you haven't already, for Game Boy, who is going to finish in first place tonight here with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 25 seconds. And I am still just dumbfounded at how he was able to count those coordinates.
No.
And to further dumbfound me here, I believe we have our victor, gameboyf9, here in chat.
Dumbfound?
Or here in the Discord, I should say.
He's
wherever he wants to be.
What is Ouijawii? Oh, grinding on golems. That makes sense. Anyway, so I had no business clearing Garenham when I did. Garen's grave, excuse me, when I did. In my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. The luck that you had, I mean, with no resources. I mean, at one point, I think you had 12 hit points and 2 magic points, and we're getting insane run luck against golems.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then when I went down the swamp cave the first time, I triple run failed to a golem on 58 agility, which, what are the odds of that? That had to be at least 80 to 1, so...
It balanced out.
Yeah, it took me forever to get back to the swamp cave to discover everything. I love the count, though. That was a great... yeah, I love the count. As in the count to get Eric's token.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
noting that the count was insane, that count was legendary. I simply asked how and then trailed off so I didn't say words that can't be said here on broadcast.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can do 4 at 83. Oh, crap, it's on the other side. Oh, but there's mountains on the other side. Dot, 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 dot. And then a little wander around, and then bam! And I was like, yes, what a count. Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah, you were the only one to not rescue the princess.
Oh, wow. I could see Mr. Holmes performing that count, though. So...
Well, I meant the only one among the 4 here. Not the only one just overall, but the one amongst our runners tonight here who said, "But thou must." Forget that.
No, but I can't blame him, though. That was a very tough count. Let's be honest about it. But see, Bobski's doing really well here. What was at the swamp spot, by the way?
That would be
there was a blue
dragon.
Yeah. What else did the blue dragons have besides whatever that spell was? Hurt.
No, they just cast Hurt more a lot.
Oh, okay. So they were like the Axe Knights.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Did they have less stop spell resistance than the Axe Knight? Do you know?
I'm looking here, slightly less. It was a coin flip on stop spell.
Oh, really? The Axe Knight had a lot more Stosswell resistance than I thought. I mean, I was nailing him a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just wipe out Axe Knights until I was better equipped to go through that. Go through that passageway. But no, well, what do I know?
Well, you know how to count. That's for doggone sure.
That was yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. But I tell you what, that was a very low defense seed. I mean, I don't know if anybody else. Oh yeah, the only Ouijawii's got a large shield, so, and everybody else has no shield at all. Huh, interesting.
Well, we were noting that was perhaps why you had done the grind up to 18, was perhaps out of concern for the levels being a little on the lower side, or at least in terms of defense. Everything else looked good, but we thought, maybe with 74 defense might have been just a hair low, so you were just trying to build that little bit of padding.
Yeah, I don't know what the max damage was to the Dragon Lord. I think I healed at like 55 or 53 or 52 or something like that, and did a double heal.
Oh, you were fine. Yeah, you were in a range of 24 to 49 that it would have meleeed you for.
Oh, really? I had that much defense?
We had 81 defense.
Oh, okay. I thought I was still in the 70s.
You may have.
Me and my hair are.
And so you may have forgot to account for your large shield purchase there. Otherwise, you would have still been in the 70s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. But yeah, I mean, you know, I had to go against 3 very good opponents. I mean, Ouijawii defeated me in the past, and Bobski defeated me on these very flags just a couple of weeks ago. So, let's be honest here. This was not a gimme. Not even close to being a gimme.
And the concern of the sword to start off with certainly playing into the havoc of, oh man, this has the potential to be a fast seed here.
Yeah, and actually it was more closer to an average seed.
That's starting with just so many enemies. The red dragons, the armored knights, the axe knights with hurt more, the metal scorpions with the breath. I mean, there were so many enemies just barring your exploration early on. So
yeah,
I mean, you couldn't do.
Yeah, actually, I didn't notice the metal scorpions had Dragon Lord breath until late, because I just kept wiping them out in one turn. The only way the metal scorpion was able to win is when they went first.
No, I think other people ran up against them a little earlier on when they weren't quite as leveled as you were, so they weren't able to one-shot them, and they also had heal more. So you'd hit it for 10, 11, 12, and then it would heal more, and then you go to attack it again, and it'd be like, all right, I'm going to just Dragon Lord breath you to death now.
Yeah, I hear ya. It was, yeah, because I killed the Warlock first, right? So, I mean, so that was...
Yeah, so
that was three
right
levels straight.
4.
Yeah. And so, that really helped me to defeat the Metal Scorpion right after that, so... Yeah. But anyway, this was a very interesting seed, no doubt. I mean, just very long passageways, and you just did not want to die once you finally got through the swamp cave. And I mean, eventually I found Charlotte Castle. I thought it was on the other continent, but I was wrong.
Yeah, it's still a hefty walk to Charlotte Castle, and certainly any death would have been a major setback, even with the short Charlotte key.
Has anybody found the Death Necklace?
I believe that was in the mountain cave.
Oh, okay. I didn't go through it because I was like, okay, first I'm going to see what's in Hawksness. Oh, Fairy Flute. Okay, I've got to do the count because I know Erdrick's token's there, so I didn't feel like I should have gone through the rest of the caves. And I guess I could have found a Fighter's Ring, which would have helped, but yeah.
Yeah, Fighter's Ring and Death Necklace both apparently were located in the mountain cave.
Well, alright, well, I'm definitely glad that I started this league off with 5 points. That was, you know, It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy against these opponents. You know, they're pretty good. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So, good game to them, and I'm gonna head on out and let you go ahead and call the rest of the action then.
Sounds like a plan. It'll be interesting to watch the VOD back, that's for sure. Especially the very beginning, from what I've been told.
Ah, alright. Alright, I'll catch you all later. Thank you very much for the commentary, Fran and Ryu, and thanks for the restream, Math Girl, and the tracking, Sukaya and Cyber.
Yes, most definitely. So now back into Sherlock, we have Ouijawii gonna check out, I believe checking out the chests here.
Perhaps looking for a ring or a necklace here?
Maybe, but instead finding wings. We got a torch, got an herb, some gold, another herb.
And cyanveo making their way in, possibly looking for exactly the same thing, a ring and a necklace.
Playing the odds, it's a little bit quicker to walk to these chests here than it is to make your way through the mountain cave. And there's the curse belt.
We found the corsets.
Tablet cave and vanilla Erdrick's sword chest.
And I believe Bobski actually is still looking for Sherlock. I think the only one who has not found it yet.
And unfortunately, Gwalen can't provide any information on that.
Currently is at level 17, so is in, for lack of better terms, in the go mode here, and in a little bit of a better position, having picked up the Fighter's Ring and Death Necklace. For those who are unfamiliar with the Death Necklace, at the cost of 25% of your max HP, you will gain an additional 10 attack power that is exclusive to the randomizer, as in the vanilla game. It does nothing but curse you and causes the king to say that you have failed and you are cursed, and to get out of his castle when you die.
So that could be interesting here, as putting on the Death Necklace at this point would cut Bobski down to 105 max hit points, but boost him up to 142 attack power. So a nice 10 to 21 range on the Dragon Lord.
And that is a very long walk back to the Sherlock with no MP if you spent it all healing at the Dragon Lord, and only the HP you gain by walking along your way back. And looks like we might be seeing Ouijawii and cyanveo both making their way to a Dragon Lord fight.
So this is neck and neck here for second place.
And I think Bobski just took the right turn to head for Sherlock as well.
And Ouijawii has taken out the golem. And Cyan running into and struggling to run from a red dragon.
And Cyan was trying to do the walk heal strat. Did not go well for them.
And now 4 run fails.
And that low agility definitely coming into play here. And with a second heal more burnt, The likelihood of being able to do a Dragon Lord attempt at this point, and now a third,
Oh, no.
not very likely. So definitely going to have to go back to Remolder, heal up, and come back for another attempt.
And meanwhile, Ouijawii is on the second phase of the Dragon Lord.
And Bobski does locate Sharlock, takes a quick rest at the inn, and will be making their way down to the dragon.
So now Cyan back in as well.
I would say certainly going to be a race for the third place finish, barring any catastrophic events happening on Ouijawii's side.
Yeah, Ouij hitting anywhere between 8 to 16 for each strike on the Dragon Lord. Oh, and now Cyan getting slept by a stone man.
And Bobski, like I say, Bobski taking his turn on the floor as well. And I think Bobski attempted a sleep of their own on the stone man, but to no avail. Cyan able to get away from the red dragon this time and will face the goal.
And meanwhile, Ouijawii has taken out the Dragon Lord. He's now going to take the promenade to gain the accolades, as well as a GG, ideally from chat. Make sure to do so here for Ouijawii, who's going to finish in second place this evening with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 48 seconds.
And we have a almost simultaneous speech with the Dragon Lord here as Bobski puts on the Death Necklace, which could end up being the deciding factor here. We'll find out.
Yeah, but also of concern, as noted in chat here, Bobski not having a shield. Dragon Lord gonna melee for 26 to 53, so there is the potential for getting two-shot by the Dragon Lord.
And speaking of some yikes going on, Cyan getting back attacked by the Dragon Lord here.
So neck and neck for both here. I'm definitely not going to be able to keep track of both at the same time here.
Certainly not, but it is definitely going to be one of those photo finishes here, I think.
Now, Cyan had gotten a little bit of a head start, but Bobski putting on the Death Necklace, able to attack for a much higher range, 8 to 16 for Cyan versus 11 to 22 for Bobski. And Zarnak's making a good point. The added text for the longer name, those little fractions of a second for those extra 6 characters of the question mark Bobski as compared to the capital Z. Could something as simple as that be the difference here, considering how close they are?
Well, we will certainly find out mere moments from now, as they are both, I would have to say at this point, getting very close. And actually, Bobski has done it. Bobski had a little bit of a later start due to putting on that death necklace, but definitely had the increased damage, which may have just put Bobski ahead there.
So get out your GGs in chat for Bobski, who is going to finish in third here tonight with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 20 seconds.
And there is the Dragon Lord 2 going down for Cyan.
And there we have it. Cyan going to take fourth place with an official SRL time, just 49 seconds trailing behind Bobski at 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 9 seconds.
That was certainly a heck of a seed there.
I'm not sure if we're going to have any other post-game interviews here. But if that isn't the case, well, we can go over the scores here as here in the first week here as we go along. As you can see, 5 points for first place, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and 1 point for fourth place. And as far as another race coming up here, it looks like we've got a double header going on tomorrow night at the same time here among the Randomania networks. As in one race, you will see, I believe that's Ichbin Maya, as well as Chitin619, an amazing toaster. And then in the other race, it's going to be Janice Zeal, as well as Eternal Newbie and Silverfire. Those will both be at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, just about a little over 24 and a half hours from now. So in the interim, once again, I want to thank our restreamer, MathGirl718, and also our twin trackers here, CyberDark86 and Sukiya. And we're working on some communications to possibly get one of our runners in here. I believe we are moments away from hearing from Bobski, our third place finisher here tonight. And it looks like we have Cyan with some comments here in chat as well. Noting favorite part of the seed was when they had run 8 run fails in a row to a red dragon, 2 steps away from fighting the golem. That certainly was less than ideal.
Yeah, that agility, that seed was just awful.
Let's see. Are we able to bring Bobski in from the waiting room by chance? We most certainly are. And here in the Discord is our third place finisher, Bobski. GG.
Thank you. That was something.
that is an understatement.
Can you pull up the stop spell resists on the blue dragon and the X?
Yes, the blue dragon was a direct coin flip of 8 out of 16, whereas the Axe Knights were just less than a coin flip at 9 out of 16. So it was a little tougher to get the stop spell on the Axe Knight.
Got it. Okay, I couldn't tell because I lost the coin flip so many times that I wasn't sure what it was. I won it, I think, the first time on one of them, and so I wasn't sure if I got the 1 out of 16 shot and then just went up against a wall. But that definitely threw me off when I got to the point where I had stop spell and was trying to, work around that low HP until you got 20 and 30 consecutive levels.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, as I'm looking here, so all the runners except for Game Boy went at level 17. Game Boy actually had gone up to 18 just in fighting enemies that were more difficult to run from, and just happened to smash them all the way up to getting to 18.
Yeah, I realized after I had died to the knight just outside of Cole that I should have just been smashing him, and then I didn't go back and check Cole for another 20 minutes, so that was also a problem. But all in all, week 1 flags are a lot of fun because you don't need keys. Had we needed keys, that would have been a 2.5-hour seed easily.
At least. And given the low agility throughout most of the run and low defense, which it just dawned on us, or at least it dawned on us pretty late, that you never picked up a shield at any point?
No, I didn't want to. There was no grind as far as I remember, and I wasn't going to go out of my way to grab a
What I meant even just a small shield or a large shield even.
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped looking as soon as I got the sword and didn't see any good armor in Garenham. At some point, I realized that I was just going to have to either be very safe or be a little bit aggressive and know that I could die at 50 or 51. And I think I saw a 52 hit from the Dragon Lord too.
Yeah, where you were with your 68 defense, the Dragon Lord 2 could have meleeed for 26 to 53. So it was pretty it was definitely a high risk, high reward scenario.
Yeah, at about an hour and 20 minutes when I think Game Boy hadn't quite finished yet, and I had considered going back and going around for a shield, but I was just so frustrated by the AKs everywhere that I decided that I wasn't going to get anywhere with real cash anymore.
True. The numerous deaths definitely kept the wallets empty throughout most of the seed.
But a very good game to Game Boy and all the rest of the runners. So that is something to be fought through, and really kind of a testament to how evenly we got paired right now, because even finishing, third in 140 and fourth coming in a minute later, and second being 3 minutes ahead of me, that's kind of how that seed played. That's just where it was.
Yeah, it was pretty even throughout. Where Game Boy pulled ahead was once he had found Hawk's Nest, he just went after the Axe Knights, just enduring the hurt mores, healing up along the way, but he was able to smash them for a pretty good bit because of the high attack power at that point. And next thing you know, you blinked, and after about 5 minutes, he had a 3,000 experience lead.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had considered grinding all the way up to 17 right when I started grinding on the Blue Dragon, and then the Blue Dragon took me out, and I figured that I should probably check Hawk's Nest to see if the token was there, and if we could just go to Sharlock and see if there was an even better enemy there.
And Cyan noted didn't even enter Hawk's Nest, and it was south of, I believe it was Cole.
Yeah, it was south of Cole and southwest of the exit from Swamp South.
Alrighty, Ryu, any questions to pose here for Bobski?
Yeah, I have to say, I think they're all just about covered here.
I believe that is going to, in that case, I think we're going to wrap things up here. It's been a solid 2 hours here. I think we've all learned quite a bit here tonight. Bobski, GG, and best of luck going forward here in the league. And we look forward to the next bit of insanity that's going to involve some chaos in week 2.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the hard work, everyone.
And yes, as Ryu noting in the chat there will be a lot more races coming up over the course of the next few days here. In fact, we have the doubleheader tomorrow night at 9. Then on Wednesday at 9:30, we've got a race, as well as another one at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then one on Thursday at 9:30 Eastern as well. And then there are 4 more still that have to be scheduled. So a lot going on here in the week, and looking forward to bringing it all to you here on the Randomania Networks. So once again, thanks to all the folks behind the scenes here. Math Girl 718 for taking care of the restreaming. Also Sukiya and CyberDark 86 with the tracking. And for Ryu Station, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. We're now going to take a raid over to Nest Cardinality, who is having a heck of a run going on Dragon Warrior 4. Certainly looking forward to checking that out. Good night, everyone.